All right, we're about to start at 17.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You got an intro, bro?
Sure.
I'm like, I don't think we do, bro. I'm like, business mode.
You still have the sticker on there? What do you have, fucking Northside High School? What the hell?
Hell yeah,
You're supposed to take the sticker off.
Oh, ese bonito.
Nah, mames.
Looks nice.
That sticker alone is giving you a credit score of 300 right now.
No, mine's 780.
That's what I meant. What's up, everybody?
How are you guys doing?
Welcome back to CharroBeans podcast, a Mariachi podcast.
Welcome back to the season finale of
No, it's the summer
CharroBeans.
finale.
Oh,
You coined it yourself, brother.
I did?
Yeah, you said because we don't really have seasons, we just have episodes. I don't know why I made that decision. What is a season? Because you know how like seasons in TV are like when you have a season, like that season was about something. It had a story in the beginning and then it ended. Yeah. So like, and then it has the cliffhanger for the next season. But it would make no sense for us to call what we've done a season because I mean it's just like it's just another day, another week, you know. So it's not really a season finale; it's more of a summer finale because
So we're going with the seasonal changes?
yeah, I mean it's technically only August. It's the beginning of August. Oh, it's mid-August, I guess you could say. And we're heading into a different direction in life, and that direction is school in two different ways. Like for me, it is getting back into my job, getting back into my status as a mariachi director, and for Victor, it's becoming a student.
Yeah, I have to go back to school and get my degree so I can join the workforce, you know.
Yeah. So
I'm not back yet. That's all Sammy right now.
Right.
How you feel coming back to school?
It's a little nerve-wracking. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I don't know if I mentioned on here. A lot of my seniors graduated this year, and I'm just going into a different, I guess you could say, mindset this year because I know I have different kids. I have more kids now, and I'm gonna be teaching violin this year.
Did you not used to?
Before I kind of relied on orchestra to supply me with them. Same thing with band, supply me with trumpet players.
For coming with kids that straight up don't know how to like.
Yeah, so I'm looking at like my 6th graders this year to kind of build them up from the ground up.
Damn, that's scary.
It is scary because one, I'm not a violin player, right? But I know music as much as I can say that I know music. But I mean, it's gonna be a challenge for me, but it's more like a thing that I feel like I should be able to do, and I should be doing regardless. Because again, like I think the hardest thing about going from like orchestra to like mariachi or band to mariachi is like if you don't know me, I can see how that could be like a little daunting. Because like I've heard rumors that apparently I look mean. Do I look mean?
No.
So what is it?
Honestly, you look goofy.
No. It's just like I guess because I mean when I stand at my door, like at the school, the middle school especially, like I stand at the door because we're supposed to be monitoring like kids going through the halls and stuff, and I mean I stand there. I don't look jolly, you know. I'm not there like, you know, with rainbows above me, and you know
you're not saying good morning to the kids or like
yeah, like,
have a good day out there.
Yeah, I'm just kind of the one that goes. And then when like a kid has his phone out, I'm like, put your phone away. I guess that's why I mean.
Yeah.
You're supposed to do that. You're supposed to tell them not to use their phone, and that's the point. So I mean, I don't know, but like, I'm not a mean guy. I don't think I'm a mean guy, and then, like all my students know that I'm like a certain way. I guess you could say like they've already had me a couple years. So I don't know. Point is like getting into that mode, into that mentality of like, oh man, I got to get back into school and becoming an adult. I know for sure, like during the summer, I'm not feeling like that. I'm just feeling like, woo, you know, like this is me running out of the class, or what is that, recess? Whenever the bell would ring and then they all run out. Yeah, that's like me. I'm running into my recess of summer. So just to get back into like the whole school and the responsibility of that it is hard, right, to get into it. But I'm gonna be doing that here tomorrow. So
is it tomorrow?
It's tomorrow. Tomorrow's the first day of school, buddy. Yeah. So a ver cómo nos va. Hopefully it goes well. I mean, the first week is always kind of like
syllabus week.
Syllabus, kids that are like, Mister, I didn't pick this class. I'm supposed to be in art. Whatever. So like some kids that I'll meet tomorrow.
That was me a lot.
Yeah.
I was always like, what the fuck am I in fucking math by art?
What was math by art? That's how you unlocked a memory. What is that?
It's just you're making art using math. That's it.
Well, that makes sense. But I meant like, did I have that? I don't think I did. Is that an elective?
Yeah, so like I don't know. One that I remember is like you make like a graph, right? And then you take a picture and then you put the same graph on it and then you make it bigger.
Using math?
Yeah.
You can't even use math to math.
Yeah.
Can't imagine making art with it.
Yeah.
I used to trace. I never drew anything.
It's not math.
No. I know. Like that's what I'm saying. I would just back then I would take a blank piece of paper, put it up to the computer screen, and I would just draw it. Like I would trace it. And I would say that these were my illustrations that I'm a fucking Michelangelo, and I was just born with it.
You're like, I did this in my sleep.
Yeah, I was totally lying. But whatever. But yeah, so that being said, that's why this episode is gonna be probably I don't know when we'll come back. I'll be honest. It's just kind of like I want to focus this year on not just school and my job, right, for right now, but it's also like to focus on myself a little bit. Okay. Like I look at it like I started using my sleep machine. Like we talked about this on here.
Do you feel better about it? About your day?
Yeah. I mean, I still have not taken a nap in 2 weeks. I don't feel as tired throughout the day. Before, like I could just be sitting there and just dozing off, and it started to feel kind of bad. Feeling like that all the time, especially in the van when everybody's like, I'm like I was dying first of all. But now ever since I started using that CPAP machine, it's just kind of put me in a position where I'm like, I have this energy that not energy is different than ganas. I guess you could say like energy just means that like I don't feel like tired or sleepy, right? Like las ganas ya es otra cosa, like to ganas to do this and that. And sometimes like I guess you could say like I have the energy now, and now I'm just trying to get las ganas for things.
Yeah.
So one of those things is like working on myself, like working out or just doing something other than I guess putting all my time and effort into this. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. Like I guess something kind of like popped in my head where I was like, if I'm not really working on myself and I'm making content and working on like things on the outside essentially, but like I'm still the same person. Like I'm not happy with how I am right now,
So you're just saying you're not happy with certain aspects of your life and you want to make a change?
Yeah. Like this takes up a lot of my time. And I'm sure it does to you too. Well, not as much because you just record, right? But
I'm still here for the process.
No, yeah. I couldn't do this pod like alone. So that's the good thing about.
You could.
No, I couldn't.
Like so today we have this guy called Victor. Like I fucking hate him, right? And then luckily they only stole $20 from me this time from my chivo. How do you guys feel about that?
It's just like me talking to fucking empty chair.
The little coconut with like the face. It's like,
no, Castaway, the little volleyball with the hand on it.
Yeah,
Wilson. Yeah. It's just I don't know. I've just been thinking about it a lot, and I've just been like, I've approached every year kind of the same. Like I guess at the beginning of the year, like your New Year's resolutions. Do you make those?
No,
you don't make those. Why?
Because you're never gonna stick to them.
Yeah.
And then it's just gonna be an excuse for that year, right? Yeah. You're like, oh, I didn't do it. I'll just wait till next year.
Yeah.
And it's like you're just losing time now.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. So for some people it works, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But like when you notice it at the gym, it doesn't work
Yeah.
because January is packed and December is
Yeah.
like.
I think I go into every year like this is the year that I like, I'm better, right?
Yeah.
And then like January hits and it's like,
Yeah.
nah, I'll just wait till like they kind of come down a little
Yeah.
bit. And then February's around and it's like Valentine's Day, which if you're married, it's like going out to dinner and it's like I'm not going to a fucking salad bar.
Takes us to Brazil, bro.
Yeah, andale, you got to get some good shit. So, and for me too, like the January through May semester is a lot harder. Because it goes so fast and you have so many events like the second semester, like for Mariachi. So like you have state and you have region, you have like you have all these things that you're like every month there's something. So like to work on yourself if you're planning on it being like New Year's resolution, it doesn't work. Like it doesn't,
Yeah.
So again, like I kind of have approached every year of like since I started working there, kind of the same, and like I feel like that's kind of held me back a little bit. Like I need to approach it differently, and I do. And it's crazy because like I feel like the sleep has affected me in that way.
Yeah,
because like now my focus isn't like let me go home and like sit down for a little bit like to relax, and then I knock out for hours, and then my wife gets home and she's like, no has limpiado, no has hecho comer, con tu pinche madre, like just like,
You're like, I'm just tired of the beatings.
I'm just getting in trouble, right? So like, since I haven't done that, I'm like, I feel like I should be using this energy
for something productive.
And again, like I think one of the biggest things too is like if you're not working on yourself, like that's what I mean. Like I don't think it's, you know how we put on our trajes the other day. Like, and you were all like, dude, bro, like, I don't feel good in this suit anymore. Because we got these, when did we get these new suits?
Like in the winter. The first one got here in the winter.
Right before 2024. Right? Yeah, we got them. And we just started wearing them again, like, kind of recently. And, like, it's only been a couple months. But I think we all felt the same. Like, we were all like mine still fits. But it's like, I know it fit, like, looser. I remember being like, when I got the traje, I was like, man, like this one está con madre. I was like, I have like hella room and like this is like my forever traje. And I put it on and I was like, this is a little too snug, So I remember just thinking like, shit, man. Like, and it's crazy because like it's what I told you too. Like this summer, like we did a lot. We like, well, when I say did a lot, I mean like we didn't do anything. Like we just like I used my summer to like just relax and
yeah, me too.
And it was kind of like a reset, and like all I did was gig and eat, and go on vacation. Like, we went to Albuquerque, I went to Mexico, and it was just like it was nice. It was good that we got kind of that reset. But now that I'm getting into it more and I'm getting better sleep and I'm more awake than I have been in past, I guess, couple of months.
Your whole life, bro.
Yeah, you could argue that because I think when I talked to the doctor and I was talking to him about my sleep schedule, I don't think I talked about it on here, right? Yeah, when I went the first time to my sleep doctor or whatever,
yeah,
he was like, so when did you start like snoring and this and that? And I was like, I don't know. I mean, I remember in college, like I would snore, I think a little bit and this and that. And also I was telling him what I thought,
Yeah.
And he's a doctor, so like he's talked to probably 1,000 people that have sleep apnea, and they're like, he was just like, no, I think you had sleep apnea back then. It's just now it's worse.
Yeah.
And then he just like looks. He's like, have you gained weight recently? I was like, no, I gained great weight gradually. Throughout the years. It wasn't the un putazo, but it was more like throughout the years. You're getting older and wiser, right? And he's like, no, you have sleep. I think you have sleep apnea, and it's gotten worse as your weight has gained and stuff like that. And he's like, I'm fat too. He's like, so I have sleep apnea, and I was like, too, bro. Like, fuck. So I was like, he was putting us in the same category. So I was like, okay, well, and so in a way, it's like a wake up call, like, and it's kind of like you look at it like, again, I've approached every year the same. So, and before, like, I mean, I've told you 1,000 times, I'm like, hey, wait, I'm gonna start working out because I've been working out. And I think the biggest thing is that, like, before I would tell you that, but I was still tired. Like,
yeah,
I'm tired all the fucking time. So then, like, when I would tell you, I was like, something would get in the way or whatever. But, like, at the end of the day, it was me, like, coming home and, like, making that excuse. Like, I'll just take a nap. and then the nap is like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I can't go now. So I'm just kind of looking at it like I need to approach essentially life a little bit differently. And again, like I'm not saying it's just the podcast that like affects that. Like it's as a human being, as a person that plays music and has a lot of things on their plate. Like I think what my wife told me the other day, like you have like 4 jobs. So what do you mean? You know, it's like, and she's like, it's because as first you have to be a husband, right? You gotta be like
That's a job.
That's a job, bro.
Damn, bro.
No, es que tú
When
no
do
sabes.
you retire from that?
Death.
Damn.
Yeah, straight up. Hasta te dicen a la iglesia, güey.
Oh, sí.
El día que te mueres, you know, a lo que quieras. No, I'm just kidding. No, but she's like, you have a lot of jobs, and I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, you're a director for school, and then you're a mariachi on the weekends. I was like, I forgot if she said husband or not. And then she's like, and you're directing the thing for the Rangers, and then you're doing the podcast. So I was like, that's 5 different things, you know. And it's like, it's true. It's like it's a lot that's on your mind constantly. Like each one of those things has content or music or something.
Well, it just takes up time. Like.
Yeah. And then I look at it and it's like I'm doing a lot of these things for other people, but I'm not doing like anything for myself. And that's why I feel like I'm like falling behind in like my psyche, you know, like I feel like my head has never been able to keep up with that side. And then now that I have the rest, like where I'm sleeping, and like if I'm not using the energy, I feel like it's going to waste. I guess that's kind of how I feel about it.
Okay. That makes sense.
So that's why I told you this week I was like, let's compete. Because
I'm winning.
Well, yeah, you guys went to the gym today. I didn't. Well, that's the thing. I'm not gonna make excuses about it. You know, like I could have found a time and place to do it, right? But I think it was you that said like it's baby steps. You know, like you can't do it todo un putazo de that.
Well, and I think like a big thing that makes you stick with it is that you can't say like I'll do it later. Like you have time to do it then, like do it then and now.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Porque you just I do that. That's my biggest problem. Like when it comes to studying.
Yeah.
I remember I think one of the exams I was just like I got it. I'll do it later. And then like the day before I was just cramming like everything you know. It's just because I kept saying I kept being Mr. Incredible. I can be like I got time.
Yeah.
And then
like, no, you don't have time. No, yeah, it's very true, and especially like right now, like. I look at every year, like especially this time, like it really is like a restart, like a refresh, right? Because it's essentially like you getting back into like your routine.
Yeah, you have to get like your groove. Like you have to like with something with like school that's like que está not programado, but like it's hourly, right? You going from 8 to whatever time you finish,
right?
Like you get used to that, like okay, I spend this much time doing that, right? And then you kind of like start playing, like maybe I can add this and
right
after something, you know. It's just about like getting into a groove where like you're like, because right now, like I think for me that's a little more al azar or like random, like
what does that mean? Al azar?
Like random, like
random?
It's more like you never know what each semester is gonna bring, you know. So, like, for me, like, I got fucked over a little bit with my schedule, so I have to be at school 3 days a week at 8 a.m., you know?
So, that means that your days are starting earlier.
Yeah, like, so I got to see how that plays out, because maybe, I mean, maybe I'm not so good. I don't think I'm a morning person, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I have to work with that. Like, okay, maybe I do have to, like, wake up early, so now... I have to take naps, me personally, you know.
Yeah.
And then I go todo lo demás when I'm more in a more functional state, which is like later in the afternoon.
Right.
You know, but I never know until like they open up classes and I can be like, okay, I need this class, and then this class I can move around, and then this other class I need it, so I have to work with that one and then work all my classes around it, you know. So like it's just getting into this groove of like, okay. Así se siente. So next week's gonna be the same thing, and then I'm gonna do this and that, and then Thursday, and I'm like, oh, pues I've had that group for years now with the mariachi. You know, like mariachi is, I already know Thursdays and Friday nights. Yeah, trabajo Saturday. Yeah, no voy a planear nada because I can't do
There's
anything,
no time.
you know?
There's no time on Saturday.
And then Sunday, I just have to ask, like, are we working on Sunday or not?
Yeah.
And then se repite, you know?
Yeah.
Like, Monday hits, and I'm like, I'm going to be at 8 a.m. I'm like,
Yeah. ¿Qué maestra?
Profe.
Profe. She's like, what'd you say? So, sorry, I thought I was in Mexico.
I don't know where I am, honestly.
No, yeah, it's funny how we get that question all the time. It's like, how do you balance school and life and this and that? And that's the thing. Like, I think people assume that like everything can be done, and sometimes it doesn't. Like, I'm not saying that I've been balancing it this whole time. Like, I've been saying that I've been making do with it. Like, I've been functioning like that, you know. Yeah. But have I been successful at it? Not. I don't know if I have the whole time, you know. And especially like, cause like I could be thinking about this, like the pod, you know, like directing at school, directing all this shit, right? And they could all be successful if everything goes great, it all goes so successful.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I also look at it like, if I'm not healthy, then who am I serving? You know, because I mean, who benefits from it? You know, like the students and great, everybody's benefiting. But like, if I'm not working on myself, like in that sense, then it makes it a lot more difficult for me to enjoy those things.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it. I think we've talked about it for like the past 3 episodes. Like, you have to take care of yourself if you want to keep doing the things you like to do. You know,
longevity.
Like, yeah. And like, I think it's cool we've done like this thing where like there's like a few generations. I think they're like older than Dr. G's, where like they got a little fucked over because there was a time where like people thought that if you're older, like you're supposed to like, yeah, no hagas nada que te pueda perjudicar, you know, like you can't be doing crazy shit where you might fall because of your age.
Oh,
you know?
okay, I see what
so they were telling them like, just rest and like, you know, enjoy whatever you have left, which is kind of like dumb because your bodies are made to be like, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Oh yeah,
so,
I
like,
definitely.
So like, por eso muchos viejitos, well, like I said, like they're like older generations that got fucked over. They're like, but hay muchos viejitos que ya ni podían caminar because they were just sitting down. They're like those viejitos that were like in their launch, just kind of like watching everything, you know,
chilling, and hard chilling.
And it's like, no, we're like, párate, you know, like start walking around, start doing things that. Well, for one, like something like a hobby, you know. If you like to play soccer, like Dr. G was like a goalkeeper.
Oh yeah, I remember. When I found out that he played soccer, like he was just always. Did you ever see him in his gear? No, I did.
Bro?
Yeah, it was kind of trippy to see, but yeah, it was cool. I correct me if I'm wrong, but one day I think there was like a dress up day at school, and I think he wore his gear.
Oh, bro.
I think.
Well, we're in different grades, I think.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, because I have like a vivid picture of him wearing like a black and blue jersey and like black socks and the shin guards and everything. So I was like, oh, like you do something other than teach?
I remember one time he was like a coach for like field day.
Yeah.
And then we had like a little section of soccer, and he was kind of like the el árbitro.
El mero mero.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, like, and you see, bro, he's like 71, and like,
is he 71?
Yeah. He was telling us when we took him to the game. He was like, we're talking about someone, and he's like, oh, if I'm 71, he's like 70 what?
Right.
And I'm like, you're 71? Like,
yeah. I mean, he's limber. Yeah, he's limber.
Like,
yeah.
Se está caminando. We're walking like, because I think they parked like on the other side of where our seats were. So I had to go get him and then like walk back up, and he was catching up, you know?
Yeah. And, he's also tall. Like his stride is like 4 of mine, you know. So I'd be like, you know, patillas.
So yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you know, like be out there, like do whatever you want to do. Like you have to do it, and like not because, you know, take care of yourself.
Yeah, because right now that's the way I'm thinking. Like, I think it's no coincidence that like it's. I feel like an old head, like when I'm telling you, like, bro, like my back hurts, like, bro, like my fucking sciatica, and like, and I'm not. I joke around a lot that I'm old, but I'm 29. Like my 30th birthday is in a couple of months, and like sometimes I feel personally like I'm like I shouldn't be this fucked up. Like, you know, like I know like standing around and gigging, like I get pains. I mean, but like you know how like you get those pains, and then you're like I should be good in a couple of days.
Yeah.
But like sometimes I don't feel like that. I feel like I'm fucked up all the time. Like I'm walking around and I'm like, fuck, like this hurts. And it could be that just, you know, maybe something is wrong, you know. But
well, I think a big part of it was like you weren't resting, like you were in sleep, because your body recovers better when you're asleep.
And yeah, I
And
wasn't.
you weren't,
I wasn't. Yeah.
So it's like, how can your body work if you're not letting it? You know.
Yeah.
It's like stuff like that.
And that's how I feel. Like I feel like, okay, now I'm getting the rest. Like, so what's my excuse for not moving around? You know, like I could say, okay, well, it's a pod and you know, doing this and that. But like there's 24 hours in a day, you know, like I feel like there's a way to schedule this a little bit better, to at least focus on myself on a little bit. Because like again, like I just look at it like I shouldn't be feeling this way. Like I should be doing I guess different things that will benefit my personal human body better. Because I mean, again, like it's like anything, like it's how you ration everything out. Like if you spend half of your day sitting down playing video games, like that's gonna affect you after a while.
Not that good.
No. It's like, you know how they say like those kids are gonna start getting like a lump in their head because of the headphones. Yeah. Like that's very true. Like, you know, in a couple of years.
What's gonna happen to us cuando salís, güey? Like,
oh, pues aquí, yeah. It's like whenever I say, I look at you from the back and I'm like, you're a little bit like that, and I'm like, that don't look right, you know. You know. But again, like the good thing that you're very active. You're a very active person. Like you go out and you go to the gym.
No se nota. Por aquí andamos. You know?
No, but the difference is like you're doing that. Like it does make me feel bad sometimes that I'm like especially like with you and Saul, like you guys are so active, and Saul's like a fucking machine. Like he's up all the time, you know. Yeah. Right now he's like, I'm gonna go play some basketball, and the first thing I thought was like, it's late, bro. Go to sleep, you know.
Well, like, we're competing, bro. Me va a rematar.
No, right. What I'm saying is,
fuck
like,
you, bro. You fucking betrayed me.
Like él tiene el ánimo, you know, and that's good, you know, because that in the long run, when he's 29, he might not be thinking what I'm thinking right now, which is like I'm dying, you know, I'm slowly deteriorating myself. And again, like if I approach this year or and I say this year, but it's because this school year I really see it like it's a restart, you know. That's exactly what school years are for. Like I had a lot of good students that just graduated. They're not going to be in my program anymore. Like I wish they were there till they're 50, but they're not. You know, like they're gonna move on. They're gonna do whatever they want to do. The one that gets to stay there is me. You know, so like I look at it, those next kids. Like I hope that they, you know, have the same experience, if not better. And that I'm changing as an educator, making sure that I'm doing everything I can as an educator to. Because I mean, I'm where I am because of where I was, you know, as a kid, and where I grew up, and how much I loved music. And if I can give that to another kid, then it's even greater, you know, because again, like if I wasn't doing music, I've talked about that, I don't know what I'd be doing. Or I'd be in a much different position. And so I kind of look at it like if I want to
be a bouncer, bro.
Huh?
You'd be a bouncer. It's just like
I'd be like the fucking comic accurate Wolverine way. Like I'd just be standing there like, hey, bub. You know,
fuck up someone's things, you know.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, so that's kind of how. And again, I could just be talking out of my ass. And next week I'm like, just kidding, guys. We won a Whataburger 4 times, you know. But
hey.
With knowledge in me,
that one's personal.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just I have, in order for things to change, I got to change my mentality. Like that's. And that's not me after reading a couple of books, and not like it's just me thinking about myself and what's best for me, what's best for you too. Because I mean, I know for sure, like, I mean, your goal is to graduate, you know, and like you're saying right now, like you don't know what you're getting into, like as far as like the hours and everything. They're in the morning, like you could be at the same point as me when you're like, I'm tired as hell, you know, and I don't want to put that on you. So
you care?
I care, yeah.
What?
I care, yeah.
That's a new one.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel. I'm like,
I was like, is that love? I've never felt this before.
What is love?
Baby, don't hurt me. That's a good song. But yeah, so I'm just kind of changing it up a little bit. I think we put more than enough content for now for people to catch up. And it doesn't mean I'm not gonna. I still have a lot of videos to make. I've been making those memes, and they've been popping off, some of them, and they're funny. I mean, I think
I like them.
Yeah, I like them. They come from a place where, like, for many years, I've seen like Mariachi memes. That I forgot that I started that. Oh, I didn't start it. You remember the Twitter page?
Yeah.
Mariachi Probs?
Yeah.
Dang, shout out to you guys if y'all know who Mariachi Probs is. Anybody listening? We started that on Twitter. It was Miguel, Miguel Guzman's son, Miguel.
Yeah.
He hit me up because like I've been making mariachi content now for like shit since I had social media, which is like 2013. Like I've legit made mariachi content for that long. I think if I think about it. And I remember he hit me up, like he DM'd me like on Twitter, and he had already made a page that was like Mariachi Probs. I think it was Mariachi Problems at first. I could be wrong. But he hit me up and he was like, hey, he's like, I like your like humor and stuff. Like you think you'd want to do this? Like make content for this page? And I was like, yeah, sure, fuck it. And I remember like I still have them saved on my phone because I have pictures from like 10 years ago. All these like memes that I was making back then and stuff like that. So like me doing these memes for like the mariachi or for the CharroBeans, it kind of reminds me of that. Like back then I would just find a picture and I'd be like, you and your whatever, you know, and that becomes like a meme. And back then, like you couldn't. There was only a limited number of charros on Twitter, I guess you could say. So like things would pop off, but
nah, it's all Facebook, bro.
Yeah, Facebook.
Well, it's also moving to Instagram too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a shitload of charros on Instagram. Yeah. Like reels pop off a lot. Yeah.
It's really funny too how like because like I guess the old heads, I don't know how to say, the elderly.
Elderly.
They jumped from Facebook to TikTok, bro.
Yeah.
Do you notice that?
What?
Like
exactly. No, it's 'cause I was agreeing with like Facebook, TikTok. Yes, I know those two applications. Yeah. Go on.
No, yeah, like my mom, bro, like she never had like Instagram or Snapchat or anything. Okay. But for some reason, she loves TikTok, bro.
Yeah,
she's always like, have you seen this video? And I'm like, what are you doing on this app, bro? And she follows me, bro.
Oh,
like,
shit.
She's like because you know when you make an account on TikTok, it gives you like username and then like 10 numbers.
Oh yeah, it's like user 1659. It sounds like fucking sexy ladies man 16 on Transformers.
Yeah.
You know, sorry, my mind fucking. Anyway,
it's like ladies man 17 man, or something.
What did I say? Sexy man.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, user whatever.
Yeah, because she showed me and I'm like, I've seen this set of numbers, and then sure enough, it's like. Liked your video, and I'm like, am I? Like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
But yeah, and like charros too. Like a lot of people that I see is like people you might know, and I don't follow people back on TikTok just because like I used to use TikTok more. No. I used to use it more of like to send. Like I only send you and like Saul and Arturo videos.
That's true. The only ones I follow are people I send stuff to.
Yeah, so it's not something I used to socialize.
It's not personal.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just funny to see like people you might know, and it's like, I don't know, like some like Toño something. I'm like, bro, like you don't even have like Instagram. How you like
how'd you find this application?
Yeah, bro,
first of all, yeah.
So it's just funny how like old heads just kind of like they made this wide jump from Facebook. That's from like Facebook is from the 2000s, right?
Facebook started popping off in 20.
It's like
10, 11, like, 12 around there.
Yeah, right.
Like for that's when it started popping off in our hood. Because
how to be more earlier than that?
No, bro. Because it was like my freshman year. Yeah, 2009. Because I remember I was a big MySpace. I was big MySpace. I was 06, 07, 08, hottest profile ever. I had fucking Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man in the background. And I had like, you know how you can add music? It was Sweet Home Alabama.
No, I mean,
I don't know why the fuck, you know. I guess mis gustos andaban por donde quiera. You know? But point is that, after that though, I remember people started migrating to Facebook. Yeah. And then that's around the time MySpace started getting bought out. So everybody migrated to Facebook.
Yeah, and then for like a little bit, it was like Snapchat. You know, but Snapchat had its own problems of like, you know, like
which reminds
privacy
me,
or whatever.
Did I fucking send my daily snaps?
Did you?
I gotta make sure.
Aquí tenemos tiempo, no pedo.
I'm at 2,945 with my wife. You know, Snapchat sent me an email.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I sent it to Zara, no?
Yeah, well, me too.
Oh, well, Zara
both of us.
Yeah.
And we had one of the longest Snap streaks ever. I was like, Just give me my money. Yeah.
Well, she didn't reply to it. Like
I did.
Yeah, they didn't capitalize out of it.
Yeah. Too late now. Now
Fucking
we would have been in a
losers.
commercial and everything.
Fucking losers, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Snapchat for like a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like because of the way Snapchat works, a lot of people were like iffy about it.
It was so different before.
Yeah.
Like before, like you could only send
It
something.
even showed you like
at the
best
timer.
friends.
Oh yeah.
And then-
that broke up a lot of relationships, right?
Right. So like I felt like for a little bit it peaked, but like it was
Yeah.
really quick
Hey.
because of the way it works.
Yeah.
And then Instagram is like reigned a little bit more.
Yeah.
And now TikTok is the one that's like, which aren't they supposed to like cancel it or like
What?
make it like illegal here or whatever?
TikTok?
Yeah, because they were fighting with the fucking Senate. right?
I heard
I thought
it makes too much money. They're not gonna ban that.
Well,
shit.
but it's not for the U.S. I thought that was the whole problem.
We're the ones that make it relevant, though.
I know
Everything
but-
that comes to the United States is where it becomes relevant.
right, but
everything.
it's not for them though. Isn't that the whole problem? They
I
were
thought you said
like,
no way.
because they were like, why is China the one that's like taking care of this? Anyways, yeah, fucking all hits just went from 2009 to fucking 2024, bro.
Yeah, like Facebook, TikTok,
And
no
then
in
like
between.
they- it's not cringy, but they think they're making like popping off material, you know, like, you know.
I know what you mean. Like I've seen. Oh man, which other guy is that? I've just seen like people. Fuck. Like groups make like advertisements on there.
Yeah.
Like Mariachis make advertisements on there, and they'll put like some little dingy ass filter with like their number, and then like you go to it, it's got like 43 views,
Yeah.
and it's like.
always feel
No one
awkward.
saw this.
I always feel awkward when the algorithm shows you like new content. Like you swipe and it's like zero likes,
zero likes, everything,
because
yeah.
you're just kind of like, I don't know how to feel about this. I always
Yeah.
scroll like
Yeah.
I was
Like if I
nah.
linger too long, it starts showing me a lot of them. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what Instagram has.
I'm just lucky that my TikTok isn't like not the creepy TikTok, like the weird TikTok.
What do you mean?
Oh, you haven't been on weird TikTok?
Well, they
It's
find
like
that.
it's never mind. It's just I'll tell you later.
What?
Yeah, it's weird.
On TikTok? I
Yeah.
thought TikTok had a lot of like stuff where like
Yeah, but it's like before they get banned.
oh, so it's like
Yeah.
real quick.
Yeah, it's really.
Are you talking
gross.
about like
Yeah, like stuff like that.
Oh.
For a while, I was like, why? You know,
Yeah.
and I was just like swiping.
Oh, shit.
But anyway, why did we get on this?
I don't know.
Where was our train of thought?
Oh, because you're making content. You said.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I just been making mariachi content for like a really long time, and
I mean, doesn't like my memes.
it's not that way. It's because it's just, there's a way you have to make things. No, you know what? I'll talk about this. Is what sucks because again, I've been making content for across all platforms for 10 plus years now, right? And it's not. I'm not saying that my content should be fucking popping off or that it's so good that it should be fucking viral.
I don't know, bro.
That's not what I'm saying.
Sounds like it, bro.
No.
see-
Hear me out. Hear me out. What sucks about our profession, like we're mariachis, right?
Oh, this is what we're talking about, bro. This is what we're gonna talk about in our last episode. No, go for it.
Yeah, that's fine. Something like this, like this podcast, has never really been done before, where we're mixing humor with mariachi with real life shit, right? Like that's essentially what this was about.
Yeah.
Us as working mariachis making this podcast for people that actually work in mariachi or at least have experience in it, and then we also make it to where like a casual viewer can come in and listen to it and maybe laugh because we're just stupid, right? I'm not saying we're funny like that. I'm just saying like that's essentially what was the vision of this podcast. But like, it sucks because like we're kind of in the middle, not just because of the music. Mariachi is in the middle. There's a reason mariachi isn't the most popular music in Mexico. It's kind of stuck where it's at because we always evolve it. We always evolve mariachi in the arrangements and the musicality. Like people like, you know, Jose Hernandez like challenge it by making it like they made prestigious arrangements and stuff like that. But again, like what's the most popular thing in Mexico? It's like the things that pop right now. Like a couple years ago it was banda, and then it was norteño, and then it was ahorita like all those corridos. It was corridos tumbados just a couple of years ago.
It was Bélicos now.
And now it's Los Bélicos, you know, and then in a couple of years from now, it'll be something else. But what I'm saying is we're our mariachi stuff is stuck here. And then at the same time, we're talking about a music style that is primarily in Spanish. We're talking about it in English for the average consumer that has to be also understanding of both. So like when we make a meme or something like that, who's our audience?
Anyone who likes funny. I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like it's hard because it's like we know who our audience is, and at the same time we don't, because if we made like a Spanish only kind of meme, or if we did this whole podcast in Spanish, our market is Mexico, and it's only Mexican mariachis and people that only speak Spanish. But then like at the same time, this podcast itself is in English, and the only people that can watch this are where mariachi is growing more than ever, the United States, people that speak English and Spanish. So again, like this specific market can only go so far. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like anything that I can make, any kind of meme, any kind of funny thing, it's hard for it to pop off because our audience is very limited. We're looking at a selective market of people, and it's people that know Spanish and English that play this. Some would say outdated mariachi music, because everything we play is from the 80s, the 90s, the 40s, the 50s, whenever the songs were first created. We're a cover band. So like the stuff that we make can only go so far.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, so essentially everything that I'm trying to put out there is for a very specific market.
No, está bien, güey, yo entiendo. No pedo. No me dolió.
No, I get you. Like when you showed me your all Spanish memes, I was like, but that's the thing. Like that's not our market.
You're like, I don't get it. I'm like,
oh, that's true too. I'm like, wait, you're gonna have to translate this shit, you know.
don't mic like that, all right?
Yeah, no mic is like, we're like, oh, okay, but
all right.
But no, that's the thing, man. Like, and it's just a thing that happens with our market. Because like, I mean, even then, like sometimes I feel very stuck in the middle, like. Because like anything that I could do, let's say like if I wasn't even doing a podcast and I was, you know, living my life, we don't have a whole lot of representation in media. And like in the grand scheme of like Hollywood, this and that, how many people from our neighborhood do you think are really out there that are like put on, you know, like on a big media scale where you're like that guy kind of represents my values?
No, pues casi nada.
You know. Like here in Northside where we grew up and stuff like that, like you have first generation, you know, Mexican Americans. Like my parents were both Mexican. Your parents are Mexican, and like we're living in the United States. This is our first lineage in this country. You know what I mean? Like that I am like, you know, any kid that I have is my first lineage.
Yeah.
Right. I don't have the.
How many kids do you have?
No, pues ahorita cero, you know.
Ahorita no sé.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like when I look at, you know, actors, musicians, this and that, like we don't have representation as far as Mexican American.
I'm like Pedro Pascal is pretty close, bro.
He's Chilean. Chilean. How do you say that? Chilean?
Chileño? I don't know.
Chiludo. It's chiludo, güey. You know? And it's not bad. Like when I see, you know, like, you know, those kind of actors is badass. Because, yeah, someone that speaks Spanish, like, that's badass. Like, representation really does matter. But, like, if I think about it, like, my generation, like, the people that are kind of like me, speak Spanish and English, that come from and talk and act the way I do, there's no representation out there. And it's not that I want it, but it's, like, it's not out there.
Maybe you should be it, bro.
And, no way. I'd get, what's it called?
Canceled?
Yes. I'd get into that pedestal, right? I'd finally get there and it's like canceled.
It's like, can you explain these tweets from 2012? You know,
like, es que tú no sabías. It was my MySpace. Yeah.
It was cool back then.
It was cool, I promise. That's because you didn't grow up in Northside.
I can't say it.
No. Oh man, no man, it's crazy, man. It's just like you know, when I really feel like that, like whenever I travel, you know, every time I've traveled to another city, I've gone to Seattle, I've gone to New York. Like, I mean what I say when I say, like, I feel like the only Mexican here. Now, not that I'm fucking all Mexican.
That's for the Rangers game. Because I'm doing it with my jersey, the Pinchy Texas way, which is my favorite shit, bro. But yeah, like you see all those to like the regular jersey, either the blue one or there's like a navy blue. Baby blue.
Right. You're talking about the Texas Rangers, right?
And they're just kind of like, you know, they're like talking and it seems like it's kind of like, next person is like, I'm like, see way, honestly.
No, it's just and that's in your own, you know, neighborhood, I guess you could say. Arlington's right next door to us, you know, and it's so imagine being a mariachi, like, you know how we play with the Texas Rangers mariachi. We pull up and I feel like the real Mexican motherfucker, you know, and like everybody there, you know, and it's not bad, but it's like, and on a grand scheme of things, we don't have that type of representation. Like nobody has ever gotten to that pinnacle yet, because I've never seen it. Because like anytime you see like a Spanish actor or anything like that, you know, they come up from a different descent, this and that. But like uno que es like sus papás eran de Mexico, you know, like they grew up. Like my dad grew up. My dad was in a mountain. He lived in a mountain, you know. Like I don't
for funsies.
Not for funsies.
X-23, bro.
Yeah. He was like, was it Apocalypto?
Apocalypto?
Don't they live in the forest and shit?
They live in the jungle, bro.
Forest, fucking same shit. Fucking green trees, same shit. Anyway, I don't think my dad was Apocalypto, right? You know, but what I'm saying is that, you know, like when I go to Mexico, like my part of Mexico, that's where I start feeling okay, like I understand these people because they're like from my town, you know. Even though they don't understand me, I'm like, uno taco por favor. Nah, I'm not that bad.
You're like that guy. It's like, a mí me gusta mucho el chorizo. Taquero's like, no, sí.
Sí, dame el chorizo. Así, te lo voy a dar todo.
Everybody's laughing. He's just like, what am I missing?
Right. But yeah, it's just, again, like making mariachi content for the last 10 years, I've noticed that. It's like, no one has ever broke that seal yet. You know, and the only way you can is going into a different genre or into a different type of thing.
Well, I feel that's how you get attention.
No, yeah. And I've said this to my wife. It's like, well, the good thing about mariachi is it teaches you so much. Like it teaches you about music structure. It teaches you about like key signatures. If you're a working mariachi like us, it teaches you improvisation. Like you're doing things that other genres aren't expected to do. Like, for example, like my orchestra teacher there at the school. Like sometimes I'll be playing guitar while he plays like classical music. I'm just like there and I'm following along. Like I'll find the key, I'll start finding the chords that go to it and stuff like that. And one time he told me, he's like, I think you have a better ear than I do. And I was like, oh, like thanks. Like, he's like, it's because that's what we're expected to do in mariachi. Like it's like when Arturo tells us, "Hey, wait, ¿en qué estamos?" And we're like, "Fa." Like you know that just by hearing his voice. Like some people don't do that. Like, here's your sheet of music. Here's your music stand. Put it right there, and play it. And they could be fucking great, but like maybe they don't think about that in the same way we do. Like they can't just go to a fucking chama like play me Beethoven's Symphony 6-9 or whatever. They don't
-9.
Yeah.
What the
I don't know. El que fue who took his music test. You know. But it's just that specific type of genre maybe doesn't think about music in the same way that we do. And for us, it's like, it's the norm, you know, and it teaches us a lot about music and music form and this and that. And that would help you going into another music form, you know?
That's true.
One of the examples that I gave to my wife is, you know Aspen?
Who?
Aspen, the violin player.
Oh, I'm like in Colorado? Yeah.
Yeah, Aspen, Colorado. See, yeah, I've been to the mountains, yeah.
Yeah, she's like playing with this Peso, no?
Peso Pluma right now.
Yeah.
And I gave her that example because I was like, I think that's so cool that she's doing that, because I don't know her whole life, right? I just know her from social media. So shout out to her if she's, you know, listen to this. But I don't know her like that, right? But I knew her before as a mariachi violinist. Like that's all she posted on her Instagram. And, you know, she used a resource like TikTok to start posting covers of like Peso Pluma songs and stuff like that. And again, a lot of people will look down on that because they're like, nah, un charro no toca esas cosas. I mean, we sometimes do that. When we get to a gig and some guy's like, like, toquen Peso Pluma, and we're like, che pendejo. But like someone like her, she posted these covers and, she got the attention of somebody, right? Yeah. That led her to going to play for Peso Pluma at some select concerts.
Well, with Peso Pluma.
Like, but at first, like, she got a big plug playing with Clyde too. That was like the first one with Clyde Guerra. Shout out to him. They played at the VMAs. There was a big performance with Peso Pluma, and that video she made of it, combining it with I forgot whose song it was. It was classical composer. Point is that led her to playing that at the VMAs. Led her to now playing in his tour with Peso Pluma.
Yeah,
and I mean the comments that she gets on her posts and stuff like that are all positive. They're like, "Wow, this is so badass." And but then again, you'll have those charros that are like, "Nah, this is fucking stupid." Like Peso Pluma, like that's not music, and it's like, obviously it is. I mean, he's selling out concerts. Is it better than Mariachi? That's all debatable, But it led her to a different opportunity, given the fact that she had Mariachi as her baseline to kind of learn like that and, whatever, But I think personally that's super cool because, again, like she's a Mariachi player that is kind of doing that now also. And it's just shows the kind of versatility that Mariachi musicians can offer.
Yeah.
Because you see that all the time. Like mariachis adapt. And that's something that we don't expect from some other musicians in other genres. Maybe.
Well, I think classical especially, like, I feel like they're very, like, es así,
Yeah. Oh, for them, they've had much longer in the world to kind of cultivate how it should be done. They've been around for hundreds of years.
No, I think it's just the way that they do it. Like that's their thing. Like, everything is supposed to be played, like, a certain way. And, like, yeah, like you said, like, the improvisation is not needed. Because, I mean, we look at jazz, that's a big thing.
That's
right.
Improv, yeah.
And then time. In classical, it's more about, like, la técnica and intonation and stuff like that. I think that's, like, every genre has its little, like, what its focuses are.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so it's like, yeah, like classical, you wouldn't expect someone to know how to transpose, But I mean, I'm sure they have like great scales. They have like great, like,
I'm sure they can
like
figure it out.
Yeah,
they can figure it out. But I'm saying they're not expected to.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, here's your music. You play it, and I'm not saying that I'm a fucking classical player either. Exactly. Like the things that they can do.
Yeah. Because honestly, I had this guy a long time ago. I mean, he was kind of like trying to put like mariachi in a pedestal, right?
Right.
Which is, I mean, I'm all for it, but he was just kind of saying, like, bro, like, you get, like, a classical player, like, El Son de la Negra, and they're not going to be able to play it, Like, okay. Like mariachi is that intricate, and it's where all this and that, and I'm like, that's fair, but if you get un charro le das, like you said, like Fifth Symphony, they're not going to be able to play it.
They're going to be like, yeah, like, they might, like, they might.
No, and I'm sure they pull it off, because I'm sure that a classical player would play El Son de la Negra.
Right.
Pero lo van a tocar a su manera, Yeah. Like, you're going to have, like, un charro playing, I don't know, Beethoven's Fifth con un chingo de ataque, un chingo de colmillo. And then this classical player is going to play Son Negra así bien bonito,
Yeah.
Bien afino, yeah. So, like, I think we're just from another time. We're just kind of keeping this...
No,
like alive, because I mean, classical was a lot older too.
Yeah, it's older.
And I think mariachi peaked, like, en lo que le dicen como la época de oro with all these great singers that were out there, And I think it's just kind of like us, like, I don't think we're ever gonna like die out because we're such a big symbol from Mexico,
Hey.
And I was just thinking right now, like, we're just moving like aside to let other people like kind of find their own sound, even if it's not as accepted. Because I'm pretty sure mariachi... Well, I know mariachi wasn't as accepted in those times. And like, hace cuenta, like, mariachi en esa época era con el Peso Pluma. Like, who the fuck are these guys? Like, like, like...
And it was a lot less formal than it is now. Yeah. I mean, with Gaspar, a harp,
Yeah, like, imagine hearing this guy, like, like, cantando, no sé... ella así bien bonito con voz de ópera, and you're like, what the fuck is this guy? Like, no canta ranchero, you know? Like, no tiene nada de like roughness in his voice.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, pues es Jorge Negrete, you know? And that's what's popular right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like it's just life, you know? Like, la gente crece and they're like, pues this was cool back then, but now we have this.
Yeah.
And now you're just kind of like going with it, you know? But I think there's still gonna be people that do it, man. Like,
yeah, it's because that's the thing about our genre too. It's everybody says there's a right way to do it, but there kind of isn't, man.
Well, there isn't. Like, so, because that reminds me too of someone else. I compare like Jose Hernandez to like Nati Cano, and it's like they're both right because it's both like an opinion essentially.
It's their interpretation of a very, I guess you could say, when it started, very informal music. It was just like, dale así, and we're just going to make our melodies. And the singing was more, it wasn't in tune, you know? Like, it's, ya si tienes un marro
it wasn't on time, bro. Like, like I fucking love, if like, you've heard that album, right?
Which one?
I think it's called, like, it has a lot of, like Mexico's Pioneers.
The Mariachi Vargas.
Bro, if you listen to the time, bro, I fucking love that shit, bro. Like, Gaspar just like he just fucking takes off.
He makes everybody like kind of play as fast as
fucking love that because you can hear like como la emoción, no? He's like fucking love this shit. He's like,
I don't know if it was emotion only. I don't know what it was.
But el señor iba con todo, you know.
It's
like And I feel like that's. I mean, I feel like it's also something que se extraña because I feel like a lot of people nowadays, since they try to be like other genres, like you said, they try to be maybe more technical. Which I mean, you see it a lot. Like I feel like the Vihuela player forward right now, I feel like he's very technical about stuff.
He's very technical
compared to like Gaspar or Pato. You know, I feel like it's just a different vibe today.
And again, none of them are wrong. Yeah, like that's the thing about the music too. Like, I mean, mariachi purists will say that Pato's the best vihuela player in the world, and he is. You know, in my opinion, he was. You know, but like you got another guy who's like, no, es que le pegaba mucho la vihuela, you know, and it's all a matter of interpretation and opinion. You know, and that's what I tell my students. I'm like, I can tell you how I would play it, but it's not necessarily the right way. Yeah. But I guess since I'm the director, I'm going to tell you how I would like you to play it. And that may go wrong with the judge. The judge is like, no, pues Vargas, you know, and they might have their own opinion, and then they give a score down. That's what makes this music so difficult to interpret or just to even explain to a novice, someone that doesn't know what we do, you know? And again, like mariachi is so, there's so much out there, and it's only 100 and something years of existence. There's so much out there that you could pull from and say, like, this is the way to do it. But again, like, we've only been around so long. Like, so it's going to keep evolving. Mariachi in 20 years may not sound like the way it sounds like right now, you know, and we don't know that. We don't know that until, you know, in a couple of years we see what it might turn into. And until that day, I mean, you could only play it as como tú puedes.
Yeah, como tú quieras.
Yeah. But again, like, so getting back to that, like, the audience that we have made, I guess, in this podcast, like the people that come back on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, sorry, the people that do come to listen to, I mean, it's a limited market, you know, that we can essentially talk to those people directly. But again, sometimes I think that this show is like, what's the word? Ahead of its time sometimes. Because again, like, nothing, just because you were the first at something doesn't mean you had, what is it? Just because you had an idea doesn't mean, how's it go?
That you own it? Or like what?
Exactly. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, you know, like I had this idea of this podcast, you know, it's going to exist.
Oh, like it doesn't belong to you? Like it.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, if I put out this podcast, it's been going on since 2020, since the peak of COVID when this started. And the way I look at it is I created, you know, we created this podcast together, and since then other podcasts have come out with kind of the same kind of premise, you know, talking about mariachi, and again, like, I can't fault those people for being like, oh, you took my fucking idea, like just because you have an idea, just because you have an idea, it doesn't mean you own it. Like, we were the first to kind of do it in this format with the two people, and I'd like to say we're friends. That we know each other well because we play next to each other like on a weekly basis. So like to put that out to a general audience and talk about it, it's a limited number of people that can probably do that same thing. But the basic premise here is talking about mariachi, you know, and in a couple of years, you know, because I mean, shit on the internet exists forever, you know.
Yeah.
So in a couple of years, if you know this podcast isn't what it was anymore, or you know it's over and it's out there, someone could come out with the next CharroBeans, you know, I don't know, you know, and they come out with a much better podcast with the same premise, and it's like, you know, and they have success because maybe we put it out there first,
like a precursor.
yeah, and then that's cool. I like to think that, you know, whatever we did was it was special, and we put it out there so someone can have the same idea and maybe be successful. Because again, I look at it and I'm like, I don't see representation out there, you know, for certain aspects of this music, and not just this music, but just being like, I consider myself Mexican American. You're Mexican, bro. Tú sí eres mexicano, you know. But again, like we both lived very similar lives growing up, and again, like as of right now, like since that representation isn't there, I like to think that we're at least, you know, laying foundation for that. And
I also like to like see it as like, cause someone in Albuquerque said, I forgot his name. He's the guy that we talked to in the jam sessions. I remember the last thing I kind of heard him say was like, por lo mismo que thought that yo soy el calmado and that que tú eres el desmadroso.
Yeah, he's like, oh, so he was pointing at me. He's like, so you're the one that's kind of like out there, and he's the calm one, huh? Yeah, I remember,
Yeah, because I think I remember, like, I saw him, like, he was sitting by, I'm like, he was like, adios. I'm like, oh, like, mucho gusto, like, buenas noches. Like, real formal. And he's like, I knew it. Like, yeah, like, tú eres madroso. And, like, yo soy el calmado. And I'm like, no. But, like, I think the first time we talked to him, Manny,
Manny, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, shout out to Manny. He's cool.
I liked, because I think what I think about this podcast is what he was thinking. Or what he said. Because he says he likes to show to his students to show that, like, it's not everything super serious. Like, o sea, it's okay to have fun. Like when you're playing.
Yeah.
You know, because when you're in high school especially and you're competing, like everything is taken so like it's como una religión. You know, like you do something wrong, and like you get crucified.
Yeah.
And I like that he kind of said what I think about this podcast. Like, you know, like mariachi is very fun to play. Like, it's not, you don't have to worry about like, oh, a lo mejor no ligué bien, o a lo mejor no estaba afinado, or like something, like, you know, like, o sea, we make mistakes and like you just learn from them and like have fun, you know, like, o sea, we're not this. I don't think this music is meant to be perfect. Like, if anything, everything is just meant to be like, you know, like we're enjoying ourselves and using this music to like express either like what lo que exige la canción, like, you know, whatever the song is, like
what it was talking about,
or like
decades ago,
or like what you yourself are feeling, you know, like if se lo quieres sacar, pues sácalo, you know, like ya con todo, and it's like you're having fun as you do it, not just like worrying about is this a Division 1 or not, like, you know, I don't think it was ever meant to be like that, like be made into like a competition thing. It's meant to be like, okay, I'm with friends or I'm playing for this party where like they're trying to have a good time. So like, what's better than giving someone a good time than me having a good time and kind of like giving it to other people, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, no. You know,
I think that's one of the things that I tell my students is like, what do you think they were doing back then when they were writing these songs? Like, no había tele.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't a freaking PS5 they could just turn on and it was like, you know, they just sit there for hours. Like, these dudes were sitting outside, they looked around and they started writing, you know, like
I fucking love that story. That did you ever tell that to you?
What?
Because he's tried to tell us about, like, you know, like where mariachi comes from and stuff.
Yeah,
and, like,
he was also
like in the histories, and
he
said there's like a letter donde un padre estaba dando misa, right? And like he was writing to someone. Creo que era una queja, like
where the word mariachi derived from.
He was like, hay mariachis afuera, like, haciendo escándalo.
Yeah.
So, like, I think el padre said he went outside, took the instruments from them, and then went back to La Misa, and then like 10 minutes later, like they found new instruments, and they were like they were jamming again, you know, they were that was like I guess the precursor to mariachi, like which is people jamming to whatever instruments they had, like you know, so like había una arpa, like hey, pues tráetela, you know, like tú que tocas, you know, pues un quinto, tráetela también, you know, like traigo los ojos rojos, tráetelos también, you know, like so I think that's the whole point of, you know, just have fun out there.
Yeah, and it's funny that you mentioned that because I completely forgot about that. Yeah, like I don't think that when music was created, they thought, what if we just made kids fight over this shit?
Yeah, bro. Like, yeah, because grown-ups don't do that. You don't see mariachi Vargas. No, they go out there and they give concerts to people that want to hear mariachi. You know, like for fun, not someone that goes there to critique.
Well, they're getting paid too, but that's their life. Oh, yeah. That's their livelihood. Yeah. You know,
you're paying to see quality. You know.
Oh yeah, you know, and that's why they care so much to practice, to put in the time and effort to make you know things sound the way that they do. So I think that's the biggest thing, that like, if the way that we kind of take in mariachi now, it's like through competition and, you know, making kids fight, you know. But at the end of the day, like what we talk about on this podcast is real life shit, you know, that really went down between a group that's here local in the DFW, and it's also just kind of talking about our experience in it. Like it's nobody else's. Nobody else can say that they lived the same thing. And again, they have their stories. And again, if the foundation, this has been done before, maybe they can start one. And, you know, if they, for some reason, go viral, first of all, I'm going to be pissed. You know? I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, you know, it's like Sammy sends me an attachment. It's like, you see this shit? I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, cálmate, güey.
Bro, they're going to the White House.
Se te va a subir la presión, güey, ya. The White House.
I don't know. Is there a Mexican White House?
Huh?
Is there a Mexican White House?
Yeah. I don't know
what's it called. Like, ¿tú sabes?
No, but it's there.
The fuck? It's where he rings the bell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pinche, they're gonna be Biden, bro. Biden's like, congratulations, and like Takawe. I'm like, oh,
perdón. No, yeah. But yeah, like if for some reason, you know, this has at least laid a foundation to where someone else can create and feel like, you know, they're being heard by essentially the audience that we've created here, it'd be great. You know, it's something that I feel like hasn't been done. And again, I think representation is a big thing. Like for right now, the Olympics, I just saw like, you obviously the U.S. You're like, let's go, but then after you're like, you know, but you know, but I saw another post that was like all the Mexicans, you know, because I mean we don't get a whole lot, you know. I mean it's Mexico, you know. And then, I'm not saying that bad. I'm saying like, you know, sometimes parts of Mexico don't get the same luxuries that like the United States do.
And we actually don't do too bad in the Olympics.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like so like I feel a sense of patriotism because it's like, dude, we don't get a lot of Mexicans out here, you know, like. So anything that Mexico does, like, you're like, fuck yeah, let's go. Like, it's not like I lived in Mexico. It's not like you know, but I have a connection to Mexico because not only am I playing their music, I speak their language. You know, like I've been to Mexico. I have family there.
Now what?
Not silly. But I have a connection with that. So it's like you see something like that, and you're like, wow, like it's cool to see people, like peak athletes, you know, do something like that. And it's the same thing, like how I feel proud, like. When mariachis, I know mariachis have gone to the White House. You know, I saw a couple years ago Vargas went. Biden invited him out, right? And again, like that's just cool. And that's what's cool about, you know, most, you know, Mexican audiences. Like they love representation. They fucking share that shit because they're like, eso es todo. And motherfuckers don't even listen to mariachi. They're like, let's go, you know. And it's like fucking having a barbecue this Saturday for that shit, you know. But again, it's like you feel a sense of being proud, you know, for stuff like that. So again, like if this podcast can elevate, you know, mariachi with it, which is just again started as music in the fields, bro, you know, and we can at least tell our stories and you guys connect with it, then I'm cool with that, you know. So that's kind of why we do it. Not anymore though. For now, right now. But yeah, it's just what a ride.
You do a Charro Chat?
Yeah, I did a Charro Chat. We'll do a quick one here before we let you guys dip out. It's the last one that I kind of put together. Whoa. Damn, we suck. Freaking Rangers lost on a walk-off. God damn it.
I don't know. They won when I was there, so I'm happy.
That's happy. On a walk-off too, right? Yeah. First shout out chat. Do y'all have any tips for playing guitarron with nails? I don't want to cut them, but it's hard to play. Me personally, I started doing this because I play a lot of guitarron in school, or also like at church. So these fingers, like using your middle finger to play A, especially on my, how my guitarron has like low action. When I go like that, I always hear the flick of the nail, and I hate it. So like what I started doing is I play everything with just thumb and first. And it's so against like guitarron code and guitarron, what's the word? Norms, I guess you say. You're not supposed to do that, but it does work because now like I get just the pura carnita part. And it sucks because you kind of look awkward, like uno que si sabe, they're gonna be like, motherfucker, But I just play like this, everything, and it sounds smoother. Like on the mic, I have a mic, and it sounds like doon 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 instead of click 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 click. So
I will say if it depends en tu uso también, because I don't have nails super long, not compared to this guy. Este güey parece gavilán.
For real, bro. Check this out.
But for me, like I kind of keep them like long enough where they're like, it's just like where you hear that a little bit, but it's not like super long, right?
Yeah, they're like barely sticking out.
Yeah, that's where I like them personally. So like, what also helps too is that like, cause I think I pull. Where's my callus? I pull from like right here, right? But if I do like let myself go and like my nails get longer, I kind of hold the string probably like a little bit deeper in my finger. I don't know if you've tried that. Well, you can because you would dig your nail into.
What sucks about this long thumbnail is that sometimes like I'll go to play a G, and like I'll end up just playing it con puro nail. You here's that. Yeah. It sounds ugly, but I kind of got used to it in a way. Like I don't play like if at church it's easy because we're just playing like boleros or like simple rancheras and stuff. But like si está tocando así un son or un joropo or something, it gets in the way. Like to go thumb bump, but you'll hear me go like chun ching chung. It doesn't sound right.
Yeah. So it depends on how you like your nails, honestly. Because like I said, I'm not super long, but Sammy's Wolverine.
I was gonna say you're probably not gonna have nails as long as mine, But if they're shorter, just kind of work with it. Like I said, that's my method. I just use first finger. You might not want to do that, but I mean, it's up to you.
Good luck, bro.
Yeah, good luck. This next person says, for Vic, do you arpa jalisciense or jarocha?
Oh, it's my harp, jalisciense.
I think that's what he means. Yeah,
it's called a concert harp, which is I don't know how to explain it, but it has a bigger connection to like a jarocho harp, definitely because of its body and its sound. But it's more meant to be like solo stuff.
Para conciertos?
Supuestamente. Yeah, like not conciertos, but like solo performances. That's what those harps would be more made for. I'm talking about Villegas, because I also have this one, pero esta se la di a Sammy, para que estudiara.
Si estoy estudiando, güey. Estoy estudiando. Nomás. Because this caja looks bigger than yours, no?
Yeah, but this is mariachera, like, for sure.
Oh. So is this jalisciense?
Yeah. Pues está hecha en Ocotlán. And it has the body of one too.
Then which one's the fat ass one?
Tierra Caliente, de Michoacán.
Yeah. That's the one they drum on?
Yeah.
Have you played one?
Yeah. Son como guitarrones, güey. No.
Really, the bass?
Yeah.
Ooh.
They're like...
I kind of like that.
Yeah. No, you had never heard one like live? Because I remember in Albuquerque that someone brought one, and I was just like, es Morales? Because, like, that shit resonates with you, man.
I do like. I think I told you too. I like the sound of like the Rubens and the Robertos.
So?
They sound like I like them. For me, like I always liked the sound that Julio Martinez got. With Vargas.
That's actually his sound.
Huh?
That's
really?
More of his, yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I like how he sounds.
Yeah, Julio
sounds dope. Yeah.
Julio is one of my favorite players.
I think. Lo que me gustaba de él is because it was very casual. Like again, kind of like Willie. Like he's just doing his thing, but no estorba nada. Like he knows and that comes from experience. You know, he's been playing so long that at that point he's just like, I know where to come in and come out, and and you know everything's gonna kind of flow together.
Yeah, he has a good sound. I like. He's one of those that just has you hear him and you're like, oh, that's cool.
It's Julio. Yeah,
you know?
That's so cool, bro.
Yeah,
it's fucking dope. This person says, is there any chords in the vihuela that challenge you? Personally, yeah, like the ones that have all the fucking sharp 9/11s, you know, numbers. It does take me a minute to like figure it out. And then the other part of that is I don't have long fingers, so like C minor, like. I could so when I went to audition for Masters, with Mario last year, not this year, last year, I auditioned and he showed me a piece of music and I forgot how to read music as soon as he showed it to me. Like I could not process it because I mean it's nerve wracking. He's just watching you. He's just like, "Toca ahí," and I'm like, "La música."
yeah. You're not de mamón, güey. Like toca esto. I'm like.
Yeah.
And he's like, you can step out. I'm
yeah.
like, right.
Go ahead and log off for me. No, but yeah, so he would tell me to do this and that, and it had some funky chords, and like I don't know why I thought he would have noticed. It was like an A minor flat 5 or A minor 7 flat 5 or something like that.
Oh, so you play like you should do this.
I just played an A minor 7, and he's like, no.
No.
Yeah, it's 'cause, dude, it's nerve wracking. He's just staring at you, and I'm just like, and then you feel stupid for processing, you know. So I was just like, So I put an A minor 7 and I played it. He's like, no, pero pon el tono que dice. And I was like, you know, just start throwing up. And then there was a C minor in there too, and me, I play C minor by putting my pinky and these two, and then I use my thumb to cover up the 5th, and I leave it muted because I can't reach the other one. Like I have fucking little fingers, so. I remember he told me, no, pero no dejes ponlo todo, like with that third on top. And I went to explain, you know, like, no, es que no lo llego, you know. And he's like, no, tóquelo bien. And I'm just like, fuck. So I'm out, right? Like, I can go ahead and leave, you know. So yeah, whenever they have like funky numbers and whatnot, it take a second to process it, or at least look it up on Google. And then like the ones that like you need like long fingers for, I struggle with those too.
So like A flat.
Yeah, like I told you, like sometimes I'll make it sound like the chord because all the notes are present. It's just a lot of times I'll mute like the string that if I played it open, it would like ruin the chord.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But it wasn't enough for Mario, so he was like delete, you know. So. Yeah, those are the ones I struggle with. Is it hard to balance chamba life with college? Any tips and advice? Back when I was in college, I didn't really gig all that much because back then there wasn't a lot of people that were really looking for a vihuela player that doesn't sing. So it was really hard for me to find work. And when I did, it was pretty easy. I would just find like gigs that I could take that were like in the middle of the time. Like between classes or after classes. It wasn't that hard because I think it'd be harder like for right now school. Like, you know, for right now school is going to be 8 to 4 p.m. Like you already know that whole block. You're not going to do shit but teach. Yeah. But like the other times, you're free.
Yeah.
So just find gigs that you can do. That's really all it is. I know some groups practice. We don't practice. One time I told that to the orchestra teacher. Because he was all like, because I tell him I gig a lot and stuff. He's like, when do y'all practice? And I was like,
at the gig?
Yeah, 5 minutes before the gig. If there's that second we're about to play it, they'll be like, si sale? And I'm like,
on the way to the gig, Arturo's like, oh, by the way, like, preguntaron por esta. ¿Sabes voy a poner?
Yeah. Our practice is essentially him putting it on the van for us to hear it. And then a la chamba, pues hay que darle con todo.
He's like, 3, 4.
Yeah. This next person says, what do you think each of the big mariachis is good at? Best at? Fuck, I can't read. I read like at a 1 grade level. What do you think each of the big mariachis is good / best at? Example, Sol with vocal harmonies.
I would say Sol has a strong trumpet section more than anything.
Yeah.
Because of Jose Hernandez, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of got the best horn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can just do the big 3. or 4.
I don't know. Who are the big groups now?
That's what I was thinking.
Los Vargas.
They used to do Vargas, Nuevo, Camperos, and Sol.
No, Cobre is the best vocally. Well, back then they were. I don't know about now. I can't really say.
Because I haven't heard him.
Yeah, I haven't heard him recently. I'll just do it really fast. Cobre, well, like, let's pretend that they're in the eras that I'm talking about. But like, Cobre was always great. Like, because I mean, with Steve being there, like, he's gonna
and Miguel.
Yeah, they're just gonna make the voices sound fucking, And for me, like, Sol's strong suit, honestly, has been for me Armonía. I've always loved the Armonía. My favorite was with Mario Guitarrón, Tony, and then Chuy. Like, for me, like, that just sounded solid. Or with George too, with Jorge, he sounded really good too. And then with Willie on harp, like I said, like, the Armonía always sounds tight. And Jose Hernandez is gonna make sure he plays Vihuela, so he's gonna write stuff that makes them sound good. And he always chose the best players to make that Armonía. With Mariachi Vargas, for me, it's just best overall. Like, for them, like, they sound the best overall. Like, for me, when I'm hearing a Vargas show, I'm like, it sounds good. Like, it just sounds like Vargas. And then with Nuevo back then, man, with Carlos and all those guys, like, that old generation of Nuevo, man, Nuevo just had, like, the coolest arrangements, the, like, flashy shit, but they had good voices. Like, man, they were good too, man.
Presencia.
I can't really say much about now. I'm sorry. It's because, really, if you tell me they released an album, I wouldn't know. I'm just being straight up. Like, I don't know their stuff, so I can't tell you. But from the eras that I just told you, I mean, that's as much as I can say. You didn't say anything.
Huh?
Oh, the Camperos. Whenever they released Jarocho Dos.
Fuck. Like 2007, right?
I don't fucking know.
Damn.
Sounded good though.
All los pollitos.
Yeah, that just sounds really good.
Bro, that song is so creepy if you listen to it.
Don't listen to it. Don't.
Okay.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. A lot of Mariachi songs are questionable if you go in that route.
Easy.
Like, don't listen to the lyrics. What are we supposed to do without the pod? There's other pods out there. This one just happens to be the worst one.
Go outside.
Go outside. Sleep. Overeat. No, undereat.
What?
I don't know. And then last one. How many days in a row, no days off, have you guys done most? Oh, how many? Oh, okay. I see what he's saying. I think it means like / no days off. So how many days in a row / no days off have you guys done
what does that mean?
most? Like, how many days have we played in a row? Like, with no days off? I think that's what that means. I mean, we'll play Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There was one year where it didn't, like, El Dia de la Virgen come out, like, on a weekend.
Like a Monday, right?
Yeah. So we had, like, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we had Sunday, and then we had, like, Monday or something like that. That's a long time to be playing. Like, that's too many days. You do need to reset, like, whenever you're playing.
I can't really tell you, honestly.
Yeah. Because, I mean, well, the good thing about this group is that we're kind of on a schedule. When we're going to play. Kind of like you said, like, don't plan anything for Saturday because you're pretty much going to be busy.
Yeah.
But then the other days, like Thursday, Friday, we have our restaurants. Sundays sometimes. Like, we gigged on Sunday.
Yeah.
I went to go be a civilian. I didn't go. But, I mean, that's it. I mean, I can't really say anything else.
Yeah, I mean, aquí andamos.
Your hair.
I like my hat. Yeah, that's why I put on a hat today. Got my sticker, you see it? It's all shiny.
You have the one on the bottom too.
Oh, sí, güey. Puro north side aquí, güey.
You look like you have a felony with those things. I do remember back in the day though, everybody had like the stickers still on there. I'm not gonna lie, that was me too. It was a cool thing to do. It's crazy how you'll follow what the cool thing to do is at the time. Like,
yeah,
I did that.
You want to belong, bro.
You want to belong. you want a sense of entitlement. You just want to be part of the group.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, is that it?
That's it, man.
Wow.
It's not goodbye, it's until later.
Until later?
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
Oh, no, that was a direct translation from Hasta Después. ¿Cómo se dice?
Let's see you soon. It's not goodbye. It's what'd you say?
Until later.
No, before that, you said it's not goodbye.
Yeah.
You sure?
I don't know.
What? All right. Until later, you will see the follow up to this podcast. We're at 140. This is episode 140. We have now done this 140 times.
Yeah, baby.
That's more than enough episodes that you guys can go into, learn about, and ponder the message. And then once you get to 140 again, maybe we'll come back, and then we'll keep it going. But for the time being, like I said, I hope you have a good break and continue doing your massage classes.
Bitch. Vamos a ver, güey. Te voy a poner peor, güey.
For all you're beating a dead horse. I'm already dead. No, yeah, and like I said, I think this will be good for my mental health. Is that what that is? No, I'm like this whole time. I'm like, is that what it is? Is my mental health affected? Yeah, but I think it'll be good for us to spend some time apart from you. But we will be back, hopefully, and hopefully you guys don't forget about us. And we hope that you guys continue to do good things and whatever it is that you're involved into. And if they're bad things, pues I me invita. I would love to go. Yeah.
A mí no me inviten, güey. I'm weak. Right?
It's like, I will participate in said events. Yeah. But yeah, you got anything before we...
No, yeah. If you guys have a good semester, if you're back in school, have a good time at work. If you're part of the workforce, stay hydrated, échale ganas.
Y ahorita que está caliente, no te vas a desmayar, cabrón.
Yeah, no los quiero ver caer, And yeah, practice. Échale ganas. Hagan todo lo que yo no puedo. No, yeah, you guys be safe.
Yeah.
Nos vemos.
Alrighty, guys. We hope that you guys continue to like and subscribe. If you have not and you've just been a creep and just been listening, at least subscribe. It'd be nice. Follow our Instagram at CharroBeans Podcast. And what else? Just continue to share with your friends. If you have a friend that may want to learn about this kind of stuff, please share it. And that's the only way that we can keep growing this podcast. So we appreciate your time up until now, and we hope that you continue to do good things and be good people. Huh? All right.
Bye, guys.
So, bye. We did it. Sorry.